All right. Welcome to AMFTally. This is our podcast, and it will focus on Tallahassee's art and cultural scene. We'll do things like interview some local artists, musicians, discuss the past, the present, and the future of the art scene in Tallahassee. So, my first guest joins us today. He is a member of the band Good Times Floral Shop, as well as the frontman of Greenland. Here's a snippet of his music.
Never pick a dime a dozen, I got diamonds on my head. I've been chilling with the homies, know we gotta get ahead. Never let them catch you slipping, I've been trying to build a cred. Hold stay balanced on the ledge, I see meals at the end. I got 20 Benzes in the lot, third eye beat, now my vision so crossed. I want my armors collecting the guap, I want my grandma invested in stock. I want my money stacked into a throne, I want my whole family down.
Please welcome Mr. Gabo Harris.
Wow, guys, thanks for having me on. It's really a pleasure to be on the cast. Been listening to you guys for a little bit, and just really excited to be here.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate you coming on. So, can you start us off with your name?
My name is Gabo Harris. My stage names, I guess, would be the Pink Menace for my rap persona, released under Greenland, which is the name of our new album, and in the band Good Times Floral Shop, just Gabo.
That's funny. So how would you describe your art? What is your art, actually?
More than anything, for me, art is catharsis, you know? It's just being able to put yourself in a space that allows you to be creative and produce something that's, you know, genuine to who you are as a person. And, like, just be a part of that, enjoy that, rather than being caught up in everything else.
Wow, that's some powerful stuff, man. I mean, it's true, you know, like, art is definitely something that you need some vulnerability in order to do it in a good way. At least I think, like, some of my favorite art is pretty much, like, honest art, you know? Yeah. And I think that people appreciate that, like, genuineness in people.
Yeah, I mean, you have to put yourself, like, in a space that allows you to be vulnerable, just because, like, when you release something, it's, you know, it's like a byproduct of you, you know? It's something that represents you. And so other people looking at that and, like, receiving that is a very, like, vulnerable position to be in.
And I think that's why honest art speaks to people so much more than, like, industry planted stuff, like, just stuff that you hear on the radio. Like, I don't think that you hear the level of sincerity that you would hear in, say, a Greenland project.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a lot more personal, you know. It's commercial art. I mean, you can just tell by the name that, like, that's the intention behind it is to be almost, you know, mass-produced, commercialized.
Yeah, just to appeal to the widest general audience possible.
Yeah.
11-year-olds, whatever. So, how would you say that music has affected your life?
I mean, affected my life and just, I mean, in terms of, like, other aspects of my life, like my schoolwork, like my family, it tends to cross over occasionally, but not all the time. So, like, in that way, like, I feel like I keep, at least me personally, like, I keep, like, very distinct, like, social spheres. But, like, in the moments that it does cross over, it's, like, it's a hard feeling to explain, but it's a very cool way to, like, to interact with people. And yeah, I mean, it's just given me, basically it's changed my life, that it's given me, like, the ability to interact with other people and, like, the world around me in new ways.
Yeah.
Like, through music.
That's really nice, dude. Very, very cool. So are you excited for any events that are coming up?
What do you mean? Like concerts or like...
Just anything like artistic or like anything like you know.
Well, Good Times Floral Shop has a show.
I like them.
On December 6th.
They're a cool band for sure.
We're opening up for this band called Post Animal. So it'll be at the Wilbury, December 6th.
For sure, and you can hit me up through our YouTube channel, and I will let Gabo know about tickets and all that. So.
Oh yeah, please.
So yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Gabo's trying to sell these tickets, you know.
Trying to sell these tickets, definitely.
So there's that. And who would you say are your biggest influences?
Let me think. Well, in terms of just people that have created music that's like very important to me, I would say, you know, like Frank Ocean, definitely.
Love Frank Ocean.
I'm gonna say Lil Wayne, just because a lot of his music is like what I came up on.
Right. Yeah.
So like, because when, like I first got into hip hop because of the Carter 3.
Right. Yeah, it's a classic album.
Because like my dad bought the tape and we listened to it in the car, and I was like, oh shit, like this is. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse.
No, you're good. Let it fly.
I was like, oh damn, like there's actually good hip hop music that's not incredibly generic.
Right.
You know, in terms of other types of music, like MGMT, a lot, Car Seat Headrest.
The Goats.
The Goats, of course. Oh, dude, so many.
Yeah, I assume that the list, like, you know, it's not just people who you influence, like, music from, you know, artists that you influence, like, personality-wise from, and, like, who you can relate to on a certain level, who just inspire you to produce art, you know? Like, like it might not affect your sound, but it inspires you, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that applies for anything in general, like, sports, music, like, whatever is your thing, you can have those people that you look up to and say, I want to be doing something on that level.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing list, you know. It's not like it's not like anybody has, like, you know, like 3 inspirations that are completely static, you know? I feel like...
Yeah, that would be boring.
If you're, like, actually...
That's how you become Greta Van Fleet.
If you're actually trying to make, like music and, like, continue, like, with, I guess, like, a passion and career in music, then your inspiration should be changing, like, constantly.
Right on. Well, what would you say are your artistic plans for the future?
For the future, I definitely would like to, in the near future, I want to kind of release just a solo album that would be me and some songs I wrote on the guitar. But, you know, more studio produced, add just different layers of like instrumentation to it.
Right, so just generally like wanting to grow as an artist, would you say?
Generally growing as an artist, just for me the most important thing is just keep putting out music, like continue like be working on something creatively.
Always,
you know?
Yeah.
Just not really stopping that, because it's easy to stop.
It is. It's definitely easy to stop and to just like think to yourself that you're not good enough, but like from what I've experienced with producing art and like creating art, you need to kind of like, not to sound arrogant, but you like have to know that you're the shit to some degree, and you have to know that what you're making is good, and I think that's important because confidence as an artist is important.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean it should be good to you. I mean, you shouldn't hate it.
It's different to you, though.
It's different. Yeah, it's not like you bump your own songs.
It's not like you're Kanye West just like bumping your own music in your house, you know?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, for me, it's just about having the space to create and to be creative.
Yeah. I think it's best if your influence is not the desire to become famous and just to make honest art.
Yeah.
You know, I think the rest will come with that. And I think where a lot of people go wrong is that they make dishonest art because they want to be something that they're not in the art, and people don't receive it as honest art. Like, inherently, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with, like, mainstream music is, like, just the term mainstream kind of elicits, like, a sense that there's only one, or, like, a certain avenue to take, which means that as an artist, you can really only build your identity in a certain way, you know?
Yeah. Like, you release one bad album, and that's, like, on your track record, you know?
Yeah.
Which is weird, but
Yeah,
it's how it is.
But what I'm saying is, like, you have to, like, if you're making music for the mainstream, then you're changing things about your identity to fit into that, you know?
Yeah,
like,
for sure. And that's where the whole dishonest art thing comes in.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just, if it's not honest, then I think people can get that vibe, like, without even thinking it, you know?
Yeah.
It just comes to them.
Yeah, like, you look at a lot of people in the current era of hip hop,
Can you give us some examples?
and, like, they're all, like, they just, to me, like, they all just, like, seem the same. I don't know.
Are you talking about, like, the mumble rap thing, like the Lil Babies of the world and the Tekashi 6ix9ine and
Yeah.
all that?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother discussion, but...
Yeah. Well, not to say that their art is, like, dishonest necessarily, but to me, they all just, a lot of it just looks and sounds the same.
Yeah. That's just trend following.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean by, like, the mainstream.
Which I guess is, like, a part of the rap scene.
It's like, if you want to make it in that genre, you have to put yourself...
Yeah, but then you
into
look
that
at artists
identity.
who are, like, you know, like Brockhampton, like, on the internet, who are doing something completely different.
Yeah.
And, like, they're still, you know, achieving marginal success, just, like, to a different audience, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the internet has revolutionized music and, like, how we perceive it and stuff, you know?
Yeah, definitely. But it's still... Brockhampton, I feel, is still fairly unknown.
Really? I mean...
Maybe people heard, like, one of their songs on the radio. I don't even know if any of their
I don't
songs
think their
are
songs play on the radio, but...
See,
I don't know. I was
that's the
playing
thing.
2K the other day, and one of their songs was on there, and I was like, holy crap, I freaking love this band. And... I don't know. Like, that's definitely something, you know?
Yeah.
All right, for sure. Well, thank you so much, Gabo, for coming on. I appreciate the chat, man. It's honestly always good catching up with you on the rare
Thanks,
times that
man.
we do get to see each other.
Yeah, hope to
So-
see you again sometime
For
soon.
sure. So, everyone snap for Gabo Harris. Thank you. All right, so this has been AMFTally. My name is Jared Abramowitz, and I hope you enjoyed everything. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.